Hi. This is test. Test. Good. How are you doing tonight? And by tonight I mean today, because it's actually just morning. Well, noon. I'll be summoning grief and stuff like that today. So let's go. The Warren Soultrader decks finally are getting some more spotlight on themselves. think I was supposed to play the bog, save the supplier, right? It was a mistake. Um. Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Cztonian. More energy. Gain the apprentice. I don't know what to do. It's too many things. Oh, pierdolę. Just wait on this. I think. Phyrexian Tower plus Mutavault can act as a filter land, I guess, although one time only. Yeah, I guess I'll flare. Might as well. But villain can escape Flage now. I'll have no creatures. Can I win with no creatures? I'll have a lot of life. More life than I do. Which is awkward for soul trading. I think we're missing a blood gas this turn to really benefit from everything. But also maybe villain will not flash because they would need an extra land, which they didn't have. Well, that got me good, so that was a reason not to do that. For once. Ay, 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 ay. You. Is Ajani a good card? Seems quite good to me. The zero ability on this Planeswalker is really crazy. Does a lot of stuff. Just shoots a lot of direct damage whenever you would like. Gravecrawler. Yeah, so just punish for that. Kind of didn't assemble anything this game. And even if I was able to combo off, I am not because I have 6 life versus 18, that's the issue. So you got me, broski. Is today date for bounce? I don't think it is, so you're not allowed. I think Flare is actually not great against them. You can have the pushes. Maybe trim a Bloodgust. This Boros Energy, very easy deck to play in Modern, question mark. Almost autoplay. Why would it be? Let's say mid-range decks, those always present players with decisions. Guys, what if it was Energy Summer instead of Nadu Summer? Bros, what if it's just Summer and it's just Summer? What if? What if it's what if it is just a season? Fulminator Mage, bro, imagine getting fulminated with a Kryptonian Nightmare. I should land, but I think I'll just rather play a Gravecrawler. Can get some damages in. Could put a counter on the apprentice that would play better around Pyroclasm, a popular modern card nowadays. Jeb, bolcikiem. You're right, well, go figure. Bogart Troller. Would you prefer to play as an Orzhov with Guide of Souls? It gives more value to the creatures and also helps to combo. Guide of Souls is kind of interesting. Sounds good. Sounds pretty good, in fact. I think the utility lands in this deck are pretty good, so splashing comes at a cost, but God of Souls the 1-drop and lets you probably become a bit aggressive. A flying Gravecrawl zombie angel. Sounds good. Static Prisoner. Let's go Bogart Troller, I barely knew her. God of Souls sounds good indeed.
He's a phenomenal control player.
71 is the 20th prime number. Because both rearrangements of its digits are prime numbers, 71 is an EMI and more generally a permutable prime. 1-2, it is the largest number which occurs as a prime factor of an order of a sporadic simple group, the largest, 15th, supersingular prime. It is a Pillai prime, since 9 plus 1 is divisible by 71, but 71 is not one more than a multiple of 9. It is part of the last known pair, 71, 7, of Brown numbers, since 71 squared equals 7. Plus 1.
Plus 1. Good, sounds good. Opponent flipped a Galvanic Discharge. With charge? Could hit Bloodgast. Probably can keep the Bogart Troller until flash. I would like to draw something good this game though. Don't have much action. You can also play Static Prison, Jolted Awake, and Eagles of the North. It is true that I can play all of those cards. I don't think Jolted Awake does anything though, but Eagles sounds extremely enticing. Plane Cycle, have Eagles in my graveyard. Chthonian Nightmare them over and over. Give my creatures +2/+0 first strike. Damn. Harsh Mentor. Huh, I guess my deck is weak to that. We drew a Chthonian. Now what? This is not enough. Holy guacamole, Chthonian is so good. Let's play the Bogart Bog. And I guess we'll try to combo off next turn. We take 5 damage. Like a plastic bag. I can get 2 apprentices into play. Let's see what they deploy. White mana. Ocelot Pride. Oh no. Not Ocelot Pride. Like a plastic bag. Static Prison. Okay. So opponent's gonna hit me for 7. Plastic bag, plastic bag, plastic bag, plastic bag, plastic bag. They will be at 14. I have 6 lives. Draw Warren Soultrader. That's a crazy draw. Play Chthonian. Return Marionette Apprentice. Servo. Play Swamp. Play Chthonian. Return Marionette Apprentice. Return. Warren Soultrader. Sacrifice Bowmeister. Add black. Sacrifice Apprentice. Add black. Cztonian. No i co? My one short. I don't think I am actually. We sack this, go to 2 life. Cztonian. And now we get Bowmeister back. Okay. Cutting it close though. Kind of, you know, getting there by inches. So yeah, live game would be really nice in this deck. So I get you with the Soul Guide. Guide of Souls. That seems like probably the best live game you could run, and it's also a decent card. And it's also more 1-drops, so... Have you seen builds like that, or did you just hallucinate them yourself? Despair is better than Flare? I don't think so. Even with Sorin. Sorin probably doesn't fit that all that great, but maybe. I did play against a white-black build of this deck one time. I don't recall seeing Guide of Souls. Maybe it was in the deck. Maybe not. Holy shit, and then Ocelot Pride, and you can sacrifice your Ocelot Pride, and that's so many monsters to sacrifice. Holy guacamole. It does feel like I maybe am making a mistake not running for Cztonians, given how hecking good it is. And how crucial it is, so we'll see. I think I would skip the Eagles though. To be fair. Probably would have to skip Mutavalts too. Mutavolts. This is like mono black Yawgmoth with less toolbox. Well, if you phrase it this way, you make it sound like a bad thing, but it's honestly just yes. Sorin helps you combo as you play Guide of Souls, Gravecrawler plus Warren and add Sorin, so you would rather, I guess, play Sorin in the Apprentice slot? Is that what you mean? It's not infinite mana. though. I guess infinite life, so then you saw it and... Yeah. Okay, I can see something. Can see something happening there. Open a new copy. No blood artist. There is no blood artist currently in my deck. Indeed. Wasn't there a similar list with Village Raid instead of Daily Dispute? Perhaps there was. I do not actually know of every list on Magic Online ever. And I think Daily Dispute is a better card than Village Raids. Probably. Maybe it's not. Well, the treasure is not nothing, so... Accidentally Tonian. Wedding announcement. I would like to remind you, chat, that we're playing Modern. Seems like villain has disconnected. Oh no, they're back. Okay, we can keep this. And sounds okay. We don't want to play Concealed Courtyard match at all. Johnny? Well, we could build an energy deck, but that's already been built. Johnny with no red is gonna be not the best anyway, so I think we can omit that. Monocolor decks should or shouldn't have fetch lands? Question mark. I'm playing fetches because I have both a single Survey land and I also have Bloodghast in my deck, which appreciates fetch lands. Do I also plan to try the list with Unnerve in it? Unnerve didn't strike me as a particularly powerful or desirable angle, so I just kind of ignored it. I know that people play it, but I kind of don't understand why, so I just ignored it. What is the infinite life combo? It's not infinite life, but inside it's a pretty finite life combo. But it's an infinite energy combo, and I guess I mean, if you have 2 Guide of Souls, then it is infinite life. And it is infinite life gain, but also life loss, so I guess you can ping with Sorin, kill with Sorin. If you do the World Trader stuff. Bogart Bog is kind of awkward in this deck, I guess, if you want to keep a life total advantage. It's a bit of a downside, actually, right? This is awkward. Have I seen the deck combo with Soul Guide plus Primal Prayers? I think so. Why not dispute first? You're right. Because I shocked for without info. Why not? Probably maybe should play a Soul Trader as a 3/3. A Soul Trader here means someone who works for themselves and doesn't employ anyone else. That's a crazy definition. Nilarvis, just good question. That's just being cringe, and sometimes you don't need to codify rules for everything. You can just say, yeah, that's a cringe behavior, and just ignore it. Bro just killed his own cat. Bobshi, I don't know. Oftentimes I see you shitpost and complain on the internet, so it's a good question indeed as to Oh, ironically, I see. I see. Okay, we attacked Ayani. Celestial Perch and Static Prison. Ale gówno. Was it worth flaring the Ajani? Well, do I have the flare? Should I Chthonian Nightmare the flare back? Is that what we're suggesting? Need to soul trade my grief.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Mono black.
Currently eating flesh as we speak. What's a flesh? IRL. Uguziano, thank you very much for your prime sub. Mono black indeed is the deck of choice I am running. Flesh, a virus that is parasitic, reproduces itself in bacteria. That's fucked up. Anyone in the chat reproducing themselves? Thyself? How's the Zubera matchup? Probably pretty rough. We have two elegant parlors, is that normal? It is normal. It's honestly fucked up. That's what is normal nowadays. How's this match so long? And how do I have less time than my opponent? Some things are just mysterious. I have two free freeze. That's pretty solid stats. Soon they will have to let the static prison go, right? Removes an energy counter from Sapro 31. That's actually true. They do remove the energy counter from themselves. This is often not true. What model says is often not true, but it is true in this scenario. Let's attack the Nakatel Avenger. Wait, Avenger? I barely... What did I do? I was supposed to sacrifice the apprentice. Misclick. Going to 4 life seems dangerous, that's why I'm not doing that. Bold face, ay ay ay. We do need life gain. We do need white in this deck. They draw a monster, they just let go of static prison and kill me with a flyer, but they draw a land, they pay. Guide of Souls, XD. What's so funny about that? I think it does fit the deck pretty reasonably well. Surprisingly, they do have a fetch. Seven. 6. 4. Count 4 sacrifices. Alright, we won the match. The live payment on Warren Soultrader was really annoying though. Why are Boros not playing Giganta anymore? I can't think of the card right now. I think my opponent had Giganta game 1 and then they boarded something in. I don't think we've seen that card. But they had no Giganta post-board, they had Giganta game 1, so... Sanctifier? No way they play paid full cards like that. Bit awkward, but... A nice warm tea in July, yeah. What is so weird about that? I think it's just how tea should be drank. I think we can pitch Bowmeister. I think the other cards are pretty valuable. And Bowmeister is not particularly important. Whoa, Unstable Amulet. Too bad I threw away Bowmeister. Let's take the Static Prison. I don't know, maybe take the creature, honestly. Say the Static Prison. I don't know. Supplier. Kchtonian. Return Marionette Apprentice because I can't return Griefster yet. And make servo. So we have the combo. Also, opponent has a removal, but well, I don't quite have the combo. I'm 1 mana short, right? But Guide of Souls. Dawaj Ocelota. Holy shit. That's weird to discharge to play Guide of Souls over playing a Ocelot Pride, right? Just gain less value, but... A land would be awesome. Nice, it's a fetch even. So play fetch. Return Bloodgast. Sack Bloodgast to tower. Fetch. Fetch Swamp. Return Bloodgast. Play Warren Soultrader. Sack. Cztonian. Cztonian the Apprentice. Fabricate. Servo. Sacrifice Servo. Drain you. Make treasure. Play Gravecrawler and kill you. Fetchland was really good. I don't know, was it? Did it need to be a Fetchland? It does seem like it needed to be a Fetchland to actually kill my opponent. Because of the extra sacrifice and the extra mana from the tower. Canister wins. How nice to see those words. Spotting the pushes again. Now you scared me of the Sanctifier, bro, so I want to keep the flare in. Is there any way to donate other than PayPal? Don't think there is anything set up. So I've had K-Prince donate once by handing me a note at a tournament, I guess, so that was another way. MTGO tickets, yeah, I guess that also works. Tickets is good, I guess. You would like to do it this way? Oh. Hagubi, both is true. But I also just wanted to play with this deck. I find it cool. I think it's weaker. O kurwa, ale gówno. Well, yeah, then like the only way to display the message is through PayPal. Obviously. MTGO tickets has no vibe, that's true though. Let's take the monsters. Slot price. Co taki kurwa dumny jesteś? Green variants with Birthing Ritual. I did, I don't know about that card. Blacklands are really nice for utility. If I were to splash, I think I would want life in my deck for sure at that point. No to chyba spuszujemy tego Guide of Soulsa, żeby nie dawać na flagę celu. Maybe I could play the Gravecrawler and then opponent can't cast a removal really on it. Tylko tu i teraz na 7 sekundy. All right. So when Aspiring Spike said that Amp Raptor is going to be the best card ever, was he actually just correct? Is it simply the best card ever? This entire mid-range deck's built around that. It's good in a different way. Well, that's exactly the way. Promise turn to ring, I guess. Don't want to give him the option to pay for Guide of Souls. No, I'm an honest man. I'm not going to try to trick my opponent. Okay, so they have the amulet. I don't know what to think about it, so I just want. The deck is still developing and I hope it will get better in Kaniki's hands. For sure it will. It's already getting so much better. The Guide of Souls splash, that's going to be the next big thing. Number of Spymaster Vaults entering the battlefield tapped. Rather, Vault tapped turn 1 count, roughly at 10,000 now. Splashing green for Baby Greased seems attractive. I think the Greased I would like to splash is the Real Greased. But also, probably I don't care for Greased. I mean, splashing is cool. Oh, Guide of Souls. If Villain attacks with the Guide of Souls, then he's gonna be archered down. A plugin version won a challenge or so this week. It truly did. But it had real greased in it. That worked out nicely. Let's deploy Gravecrawler. What grade I give it in set review? To fake Grist. We'll need to find my tier list. I think pretty low. It's pretty low res, but okay, Grease is an A tier together with Psychic Frog and notably above Flash, so I think that might have been a little bit off. Grist felt really good in the challenge winning deck list. I added more. Real Grist? Maybe it is good. I was gonna wear a Termi or something like that. I guess I have the combo, I didn't even think of that. Got focused on pinging with Bowmasters with Kachtonian. If you had greased, is Soul Cauldron worth it for more combo? Bro, maybe. Who knows? This deck is very complicated. So many times you click on an object and move it from graveyard to the battlefield and over again. And all of that is to like ping your opponent's creature and gain 2/1/1s, but it's pretty fun. I can guess Grease plus on Earth is a pretty strong combo in a way. Lightning Bolt. Oh, my friend, you're dead. Co tam zabijesz? Wow, Siege Supplyera zabił. Did you like the card a nerf? Portable _ head? Opponent just discharged my Gravecrawler. Sometimes you need to do stuff that you don't want to do, but... Unnerve is so good in this deck. No sense not play 4. Okay. Opponent paid actor? Not necessarily, they just... couldn't really do much. I'm not sure it is a dots. Well, clearly it is. One exiles your graveyard and the other wants them to stay in your graveyard. Chthonian Nightmare so good, need to play 4 of it. Yeah, for sure. Only have 3 this league, but play 4, and if with Grief you can pitch extras. Sorin of House Markov. I think Bloodgust is really nice. It's just that you end up hardcasting it a portion of the time. And by portion I mean all the time. Why are you not playing Scum Effects? Well, am I not? I'm playing Chthonian Nightmare. And Flare of Malice. I had a version of this deck where my funky lands were not rollers, but the Malices, Flares, Malakir Rebirths. Seemed okay. Let's keep this. Opponent last spotted playing Living End 2 days ago. sewers, so that's probably something else. Are 4 grave crawlers necessary? I think they're good to have. They're 1 mana cards. Not necessary, perhaps not. Can turn 1 grief and bowmeister them. Not sure if that's a line I want to take. Let's see. No i przypał trochę. We are ruined. Loss of negation. So maybe keep grief on top. I guess I had to play the Pyrexen Tower already. Maybe draw grief, pitch, Soultrader. I don't know, that's good.
He's a phenomenal control
I don't
player.
play anything otherwise, so. They just hold up 2 mana, then I guess I'll just play the Voltaic instead. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe you shouldn't put the grief on top because opponent is a counterspell deck, obviously, so likely they will just pass with 2 mana and then I can I can still hardcast grief. Temple Gardens to jest za gówno. Troll of Khazad Doom. Wait, this is just Living End. I got fooled by the Undercity Sewers. I thought it is not Living End. Do you think Amulet would return if Nadu gets banned? Grease Living End. Do I? Now that you're a combo player. Bro, what? A leyline player? A combo player? Since when? Co to się dzieje? Living End Greased. Leyline. Is mono black slash PG Soultrader good at the moment? No, but black white Soultrader is great. Kani hasn't won an honest game of Magic in years. I mean combat damage over multiple turns. I do play limited. So that is actually not true that I hadn't. Vampire Scans is honest, true. Yeah, be they hard, be they mentor player. Uraborg. How do I beat a Grist? Guess by just waiting. Next turn I attack Grist and then I can connive with the Vault. Four mana Grief. But yeah, no evidence that the Soultrader deck is great, but also it seems to be doing pretty okay in challenges and all of that. Did I watch any esports this weekend? I did not. I spent this weekend on a działka with celebrating the birthday of Twitch chats user Olsen137, and there was no esporting in the area. Seems okay to draw, I guess. It is a living end deck, so they draw a living end, I'll die, but at least I need to dominate the non-living end game state. Which this will. Attack cast sounds like a cascade spell. Okay. In that case, my flare is gonna be a bad draw. So can I overcome what my opponent presents here? No chyba nie. No chyba I can't. So seems like we're dying against living and greased. Rather greased living end. The subtlety really threw me off. Let's board out Flare of Malice. Bogart Troller sounds good. Voidwalker sounds good. Thoughtseize sounds good. Fulminator Mage, let's fucking go. Orcish Bowmaster, Steely Dispute, kind of whatever cards. Let's go. Fullman Eater Mage. No, Fulminator. Fulminator. Fulminate. Let's Google that. Fulminate. Express vehement protest. Explode violently or flash like lightning. Which one is it? Okay, wrong ley line. And Force of Despair, you can kill all creatures that enter with living end. Yeah, I can. That does sound pretty bad to me. I'll play the Bogart Bog because I don't want them to discard my land, even though Bogart Bog might be excellent against living end. But I think Force of Despair against living end is, in this deck, is bad sideboarding. I guess if they have Leyline, they can keep fetches up, and Fulminator is not nearly as strong as we would like. I cast 0 mana subtlety. I force you to put Voidwalker on top. No, actually not. That's crazy. I'm still standing. Leyline bonding. Holy guacamole. Grief on my Chthonian Nightmare is going to be brutal. What did they pitch? Leyline of the Guild Pact. Scion of Draco, no? I guess boarding out those flares comes at a cost. Yeah. Weren't fully transformed from a living end deck into a zoo deck. Now they still leyline bounded my Voidwalker. Yeah. Time Raveler. Ja pierdzielę. What's your opinion of the Young Moth deck plus this combo, which is ruling? It truly is, yeah. Is ruling. Absolutely rules. think my opponent successfully fooled me. Would I still play Orcish Bowmeister without Reach instead of Orc Army Production? Probably not. Not in this deck. Successfully fooled by Zoo Living End. Zoo Gris Living End. Let's go. With no flare in the deck, I was kind of with no outs for a while now. This is still the first league indeed, yes. Played against two energies and now we lost to Funky Living End. Reality Smasher. Smasher? I barely... You know... Let's mill 3 Bloodgast. No Bloodgast, just milled over a Kchtonian and a Spymaster's Vault. That's sad. 3 mana, blue mana, Flash Raker. Flash Raker? Opponent did not get fooled. Bro is really attacking? That's crazy. Skip the Gravecrawler to connive it. it that heralds the end. And what? O kurwa, evoke for 2 mana. I have a Bowmaster in play, so... Flash Breaker seems pretty good. Just overall as a card. It's actually really good Eldrazi. Just triggers all the time. I'm at 13 life from the pings alone. It does sound extremely painful indeed. No sack outlet to benefit from the vault. Maybe villain will just sacrifice these spawns for no reason. Devourer? Smasher? Ale pinguje. Maybe my attack wasn't the best. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was not. Now I'm at 5 life again. Always missing the life points for my combos. Yep. Now, do we trust my opponent not to deal 5 damage to me? I insta-die to Kozlek's Commando. Can make as many as 7 spawns. Why are we doing it at end of turn? Is it just double Commando? Okay. Well, I meant to use my vault end of turn, but I guess I didn't. Would I stop? So tough luck. That said, I just assume that my villain opponent's gonna summon another Commando. Seems like not. Pretty weird. Signing the apprentice. Sad, but what can you do? Alright, that kills me through because it's the creature itself and then the spawn. Holy shit, Flash Raker is fucked up. They should really make sure that this card is balanced for gameplay. Because I'm not sure this. Not Vault in response to Devourer. I could, but I wouldn't do anything, so I'm not feeling well about myself. I think I'll fulminate this player. I think Orcish Bowmeister looks pretty weak. Fall Season Push, no. 2x Malice, I guess. Spymaster Vault tapped count, I guess gets lowered. O ty skurwysynu, 2 razy będziesz mi Gamestona grał? Secluded Courtyard. Point is a certified luck suck. You know, I'll surveil. I don't want to play the Gravecrawler. I don't care about it. Land is good. So you get to fulminate as soon as turn 3. Are we chalicing? That's kind of cringe, but manageable. Makes me regret my Gravecrawler skippage. To za nieładne słowa, no. Tak trzeba czasami. Well, turn 3 double Stone Rain happens if I draw the land myself, which I don't think was a given. And by don't think I mean it just wasn't a given, so that's why. Hopefully villain will not deploy more Eldrazi's. The Eldrazi Lord right now would ruin me. Blue, that's curious. Just Mimic. That makes Bowmeister more attractive. Should probably cut 1-drops if villain is chalicing, especially if they're like even chalicing on a draw. I think I deploy Bloodgust and chill. After considering all my options, I like this one the best. Very high upside? Not really. What exactly do you think the upside was? Like to kill a land, but then I have no monsters and those monsters beat me? Sounds not good. Aj, kurwa mać. Dobra, nie ma problemu. Villain only pumps line breaker with itself. Ever. It's pretty awkward, but I need the blocker. Eldrazi's are very kaboom right. Well put, Johnstar. So villain could maybe spend 2 mana on a Muldrifter, Mimic. Nie problem. No attack. Come on, that can be good. Maybe we could have returned Apprentice. Sack Apprentice to return Fulminator, then sack Bloodget for Apprentice, have an extra servo. Would make sense. Okay, so I think I want to reduce the amount of 1-drops. And I want the Bowmeister in my deck. There are 1 toughness creatures. I think Daily Dispute on the draw. No time for that. Maybe have 2 pushes because they're good on the draw. Okay, that sounds good. And I need to remove the early creatures to fulminate the lands to benefit from that actually. I think I like that. Eldrazi Mimic. Rose Vault is so good. If you were an Eldrazi, which bloodline would you belong to? Kozilek, Ulamog, or Emrakul? Kozilek. He's the trickster. After all. Which I find relatable. Sounds so cool. Same. Kozi Lulek. So sad that Kozilek is consistently the shittiest of the three. I don't know about that. The 9 mana MH3 Kozilek. Banger. Banger card. Yep. Yahoo! We got you, opponent. So far we have only fallen victim to an individual who fooled us with the zoo slash non-zoo strategy. Living in slash zoo strategy. That was pretty impressive. Yeah. Rainbow Leyline, Living End, sideboarding Scions of Dracos. If what Soultrader was tapped to activate, I don't think it would quite be all that desirable then. They probably sideboarded Bindings, they had main deck Grease and Living End. Pure then, you're so lucky that I don't have my Bowmeisters in place yet. A ściana między nami tacy sami. Tacy sami. A flara do grobu. Surville bug, huh? Press holding priority after this pure then. Oh, spell snare. Bro, spell snaring should be really forbidden. Just because it's so giga cringe. Merc tiding? Perhaps. Pure then, spell snare. Just, you know, any sort of a interactive blue deck. Myk, kurwa, Gravecrawlerek. A jaja między nami. Two Survey lands. So, you know, soon after Murders at Karlov Manor, we entered a single Survey land meta. When will people play playsets of Survey lands? The answer might be sooner than you might think. Let's play around Spell Snare. Pierce, rather. Letting their turn to play against Fawn was better than play around Pierce. Well, not necessarily. Depends if they have Flare or Pierce, I guess. Fawn or Pierce, and I think I'm kind of fine. Like getting forced is better than getting Pierce, I would think. Flare on their turn before casting Bowmasters. That would play around everything. Sounds good. Ballsy. I've become so numb. Has there been any ban announcements? There's been probably hundreds of them in history. Maybe dozens. Maybe not hundreds. Hmm. Alright, spell pierce doesn't exist. I will get counterspelled and that's gonna be brutal. Oj, Snerek. Sznerek. Only one Survey land. I am in the meta from the past. Hey, before I buy the deck, is the red-green Eldrazi Ram deck real? It seems up my alley. Seems pretty real. Seems like a good way to reduce your money count. That is knowledge, Tonian. What is this? Countering this Gravecrawler? Villain is at 8. Unfortunately, villain is drawing cards. Discard spell snare brawl. Discard a card this broken. Discard sub. It's not a good sign of what's coming. If those are the cards getting discarded. I'll probably gonna get subbed. Otherwise, Bloodgust would be one of the better draws. Seems like I'm not subbed. Bowmeister would blow me. No dobra, no żaba mnie zabija teraz to. simply am dying. Died to a frog, Keklamao. Let's board in Fotzizes to push through my Kchtonians. Hopefully they will not utilize any graveyard hate. Bros, what is the fucking deal with those stupid Spy Master vaults? How many do I play? Play 3. What's the deal with homeless people? Just get a house. Honestly based. Maybe 2 should be the number. Perhaps. Back when I played this deck for the first time, I really enjoyed Spy Master's Vault. It's been really good for me. If there was a Stitches Suppler in play right now, what would I do? Play 3-3? Can you use Phyrexian Tower to cast a Gravecrawler? To my knowledge, yes. I sat in the middle of the night in my search for old inverter streams. Is there anywhere to find those? I think inverter streams were before I started archiving my VODs. They're gone, unfortunately. Oi, oi, oi. Our deck is pretty synergy based with one card that would really like to resolve, and well, I guess I would like to resolve most of my cards, but one would need to, and it just doesn't.
He's a phenomenal control
Well, I
player.
guess I would need to draw it
I
first.
turned 5 years old today.
Estonian. 5 years old. That's fucked up. Bros, if you had a kid that started living as soon as cancer started streaming, the kid would be going to school by now. Would it? Do you go to school at 7 years old? I'm not actually sure. Plague Reef, Poaching Flare, and where does that bring me? Like, why would that be good for me? To discard my cards. I think I would rather trade for a full counterspell of 1 card. Oh no, Nihil Spellbomb boss. Deep Analysis, they do play it in those decks sometimes, in blue-black Frogsters. Truly an incredible piece of technology. Does seem like they have another Murktide, given that they left 3 spells in their graveyard, so very well they might just deploy another Dragon. Frog. Dragon what? These nuts. Here, I said it for you, chat. ACM, Blood Gas, that's good. Oh, and that resolves. Bro, my third vault is still tapped. It's literally still tapped. I don't know, let's play the Grief. Sternly Scald. If I was gonna draw a card with Psychic Frog, maybe I can retaliate. They don't draw a counter for my Estonian. O kurwa. Getting hit by a spell snare is extremely demoralizing, and it's just the worst design in the history of Magic the Gathering. Spell snare, a spell that just counters spells, but only some of them, but also for very cheap. It's just terrible. Well, yeah, didn't really have a great draw, I would say, but only having Chthonian Nightmare as a relevant card against their deck felt like an issue. Something like Grease could probably go a long way. Can we trim a Gravecrawler to add an extra Sorin? Phyrexian Tower is good and all, drawing 2 is not particularly great though, so I don't know if we actually want to do that. Yeah, we can just stick to a pair. One copy. Any white sideboard cards to play? Sorin is so funny with his -6 ability. Because every one of those flip planeswalkers has the ability referencing the other color they have, but on Sorin's case, he starts at 3 and then it's -6 gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire. Put a lifelink counter on it if you control a white permanent other than that creature or Sorin. It's just kind of a funny ability. Probably doesn't get activated much. Oh, I'm sorry, bros. Too many flare main. Spacebar question mark. We should be fine with aggro decks. Playing flare main would be what would push us towards playing the flare main would be Nadu rather than aggro decks. Now, when you play online, people don't actually play Nadu, and so it's like all kind of a dream blunt scenario where we're not sure what's real and what's not. Everyone playing Celestial Purge at the moment. That's fucked up. Probably doesn't get flipped in this deck often. Well, Sorin has an ability that flips it itself, which is actually pretty good with Chthonian Nightmare if you have spare mana. You can exort every time. Not that you will have often, and then with Guide of Souls, it's pretty trivial to flip. I meant as a sideboard option. Oh, for this deck. Because you can play it. Okay, sure. Not really using. Not sure if I want a random removal spell in a synergy deck. Jolted Awake Eagle. Skipping those. I think the Eagle doesn't convince me. And Jolted Awake seems just straight up worse than Unearth, doesn't it? I don't know. First, I'll take a bathroom break, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Johnson, how many MH3 drafts have you played? 10,000. Static Prison sounds good. Kinda, not really. $266 drafts. Well, that's pretty specific number. That's why I played 7 draft of MH3X3, but I played many more, so it just did not save all of them. Wait, there's more of them. That's just specific matches. Impossible to say then. Village rights over daily dispute. Actually might be better. Play village rights. Some yellow rights. Alright, I will only have time for maybe like 2 matches with this, so I'll export it and play with it on my DB account. Sun Cleanser I don't care for. I think it's not particularly good against the energy decks. It's not like the energy cards are the main strongest cards in that deck. So I'll leave them with a deck that has normal cards, their sideboard cards, their Ajanis. Sun Cleanser is only played in Nadu because it's a specifically good answer to Wrath of the Skies, which otherwise blows the pants of this deck. But not because it's actually a good tool against energy decks, right? Which one was that? I think this one. Soultrader. Black White Guide of Souls. Much worse without Cord. I mean, not really. Like, they play one as a core target, yeah, but sure. Actually, I hate this Soultrader, it looks so bad. One eagle. Eagle is banned. I'll play normal fetches. Have I tried the green version? No, not yet. Seems pretty good. It does make sense to play more powerful free drops alongside a nerf. So if you want to play a nerf, makes sense to play green for grist. I am under the impression that Grief is just kind of very strong. But it doesn't play as well as I imagined. Ocelot Pride. I think Ocelot Pride will not make the cut. Also, bros, anyone in the chat have tried competing in the Cube qualifiers? I left for the weekend. I didn't play it on Friday because it was only made available Friday evening. And then I was back on Sunday and it was
He's
just
a phenomenal control
closed.
player.
Hi.
Because there was too many entries won already. Kind of cringe. Not a big fan of that. Alright, Village Rites with Grief is pretty good, I have to say. The Ocelot can be returned anytime after with Chthonian, that is true. Let's take Ayani. I think. It's the strongest card villain has. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be less players interested in that. Quite the opposite, in fact, right? Have Lightning Bolt. So I deploy Sorin, checkmate. I've got no roots. Wouldn't mind drawing a land to trigger the powerful extort ability. Extort. But yeah, plenty of options for the sacrifice black deck. Yawgmoth is also, of course, powerful. Strong card. Might want to play. Eh. Let's play this and say no. Make it servo. Pretty rough situation, don't have much going on. Attack, right? Well, I can block. Can't block with Sorin. No to kurwa zobacz jak blokuje. I think I'll happily block. Open bullseye flare. All blocks. No kurwa blokuje normalnie, no. Bro, they have ball, they have flare. We just bounce our spells off each other, trade stuff, then I can start using my Chthonian Nightmare. Simple. They play the power or they still have a power in hand. Okay. My first swing only energy tonight. No, we played against two energy decks last league. But now then we played against different decks. It is a popular deck. It's like the mid-range aggro deck of the format. Sorry, not looking too great here, I have to admit. A little bit blank. Wasn't better to flare the Ocelot. Flare is an edict. It forces your opponent to sacrifice a creature with the highest mana value, so or planeswalker. So even if my opponent wanted to, then I wouldn't be able to. But yes, in fact, flaring the Raptor was the worst possible because it was the least relevant creature in play, but that's how life is. Flare not great against energy because of that. Because there are half power 1-drops and then Amp Raptor, which is a Aqua Hulkus type creature. Hello. It's pretty rough now. Pride, Ocelot, City's Blessing. So I'll shit out 10,000 cuts now. $11,000 event. That makes the cut token gain energy. Attack, gain life. End of turn, trigger Ocelot Pride. Make cut and many cuts. Then other Ocelot Pride, make cut and even more cuts. I think even Warren Soultrader wouldn't have saved me. But I will treat this much as a L, big L for Sorin. Guess I'll play the prisons instead, the flares. Not great, honestly, but can remove a flipped Ayayani. Big fluffy cat on watermelon. Nice emote. Soar in, more like soar out. What about playing Ayayani instead of Sorin? I think Ayayani is a bit cringe unless you play red permanents. So much of the card's power lies in the if you control a red permanent ability. Just makes it much more powerful. Static Prison also helps enabling the -6 ability of Sorin. Fetch planes, you gonna moon me, bro? Or you just already have a Sacred Foundry and you just wanted to save life? Okay, as Palor. Well, I participate in Bloom Burrow pre-release. I, in fact, don't know. Probably not. Will you? Standing good to grief? Not really. Seems good. Will I do a set review? I think there is... No, actually I will not, because I'm leaving tomorrow into Montañas for a few days of hiking, then I come back on Friday. So I'm gone from Tuesday to Friday. And I just will not be there to do it, but worry not. There is just nothing in the set, so you don't have to worry about a set review. It's just nothing for modern. So in modern, like, everything stays the same. There's literally no cards in the set. In Pioneer, maybe I struggle to think of stuff. No, there is cards. Yeah, sure. If you would like to think there are cards, then yeah, there are, but it's just coping. Audiobook set review while hiking. Holy shit. Hiking. Oh, hiking. Getting a pretty bad draw, but villain does the same. Ciao Momma. What a name that is. I only like the lizard that deals 1 damage with landfall. 1 black mana CMC. This lizard is just fucked up. In a way. So, no wonder you like it. Alright, I'm willing to warm up to the idea of Grief not actually being great in this deck. I think I've been scammed by big Grief. And Grief is actually pretty low synergy card for this archetype. Big Grief like Big Pharma, exactly what I meant. Like the Grief lobbyists gonna tell me that the card is great, but then I guess I would rather Greased. What if I just try to return Greased? Can be paid, I see. Just have to let the prison go, I guess, next turn. Not too bad, I guess. I summon Grief. But yeah, at this point people just don't have cards in hand, so looping Grief actually doesn't do anything. They won't have cards in hand, they'll just play with a top deck, so it's kind of conceptually not great. I would rather loop Greased with literally anything. Czemu w żadnym GTA nie można bić dzieci? Oj no, zabiłeś. Really an impressive game, this game. The world is flat and this is the edge. Anyone edging in the chat? Ale nasrało tych kocurów. Miał. Blood gas is pretty good if it's in my graveyard, but it's really bad when it's in my hand. So there is a tension. That leads us to a fairly easy conclusion. Hellish Visionary is better than Grief. Great point. Not a fan of this T-pos. Too far. T-pos? Typos? Well, if you knew what to say typo, then that would be enlightening, but Johnstar has spoken. Strand. Let's go Sacred Foundry. Traxa, Grand Unifier. I see. Holy shit, this deck is so important for the Nightmare to resolve. I was about to say that Guide of Souls still has to make an appearance. Hasn't showed up just yet. So maybe play Guide of Souls Gravecrawler? Sounds better than Bowmaster maybe. If I draw another Bowmasters, I can fly my Gravecrawler. -1 Guide of Souls. Milled over a Bloodghast, which is a huge, well, small victory. We brought the villain down to 10, which is half the life total. Did I think about playing Brute Scale combo too? No, I spent 0 mental energy on... Whoa! What is this? Ale foliowana karta, kurwa. Wow. You missed the answer, then you will never know. That's a solid block, but maybe Stitcher's supplier is going to flip over more graveyard value monsters. Alas, it did not, so I'll continue pressuring my opponent for, well, 4 damage per turn. They did find a Gorayo, so... Violent post-combat, because I forgot that Bloodgas had haste. That could have been good to play pre-combat then. Now, had I milled an extra Bloodgas, I would have been happy doing that post-combat still, so... It's interesting, but probably should have played it pre-combat and attacked with creatures. All the creatures besides Supplier. Unfortunately, Phalaji Archaeologist is just way too strong. Curious that I didn't want to blink a Phalaji. That sounds better. I guess draw step, blink, and then upkeep blink, you blink Phalaji. But villain has Gorayo, so they're just looking for a big monster in the graveyard, right? Dodged. Although a 1/4 is virtually impossible. They should look in your trouser. Oh, kurwa. What a big monster. That's very kind of you to say, Da Vinci. A ja nie wiem, co mam zrobić. Mam to zagrać, czy nie? Single die. Regardless, but... I have a Gorayo and an Uno card in hand. Can block Bloodgast. Which seems okay to trade for 2 damages, maybe. They'll flip a big monster now and nothing ever mattered. Oh kurde, no big monster. Ephemerate and Tainted Indulgence to look further though. Czy Phalaji jest posrany, czy tylko pojebany? No nie wiem, dla mnie to jest trochę mięczakiem, ale ma swoje momenty. Would saving the flare for the inevitable big body, they also play a valid line. If the big monster turns out to be Griselbrand, then perhaps. If it turns out to be non-Griselbrand, which it's gonna be more often than not, then it has an ETB effect, which means I would have lost by the mere the moment it would have gotten into play anyway, so... People are looking pretty trash in the matchup. Let's use Voidwalker and Fotsizer. The frog is Pogman. The frog we would like to remove, that's true. It's really rough out of the Goraya deck. But what can you do? I think Sorin is looking absolutely terrible so far. This hand's Millage my very. Is Sorin a bait card? Well, in my deck, there's not enough life gain to flip it, and then it's a 1/4 lifelink. If you flip Sorin, the abilities are pretty strong if you have gained a shit ton of life, but you kind of have to go hard. Yeah, Flash is okay as a Sorin pairing, that's true. Mardus Sorin. What do I think about Sorin in Mono Black Necro? Not the biggest fan. I'll summon the Chtonian to protect itself from this card. Of course, villain could prismatic ending again, but didn't the song just play? Bro, Klotsu has many songs. I'll play my trained Armodon. Or else I don't want to play the Urborg against those lands. It's slightly inconvenient. Villain could Solitude Ephemerate, which would be a major problem, but hopefully they will not. Kuba. Booba. Prismatic ending. Frogster. Basically a 6/7. So this is infinite energy, right? Czy mam survila? No mam. Dajemy survila. Dobry pomysł. Infinite energy. What is fucked up thing to achieve in a game of Magics? Is there a way to get infinite energy? Well, I'm getting it right now. Gravecrawler, Soultrader, and Guide of Souls, that's infinite energy. It's a finite amount of life because we don't actually gain extra life. Infinite energy combo. It would be infinite life with two guides. Chłopie, daj F6 czy coś. Obiecuję, że pozwolę ci urosnąć żabę. Jak będziesz chcieć. Scurry of Gremlins would be so good right now. Agreed. There's no payoff for infinite energy though. Well, I have Guide of Souls, so like the payoff is that I get to activate it every turn. Is that nothing for you? Nothing to you? Yeah, I guess here Sorin would kill. Don't you just have infinite Bowman? How? Is it one creature per turn? It is. You're gonna get like 20 energy. His opponent is not F6ing. Or maybe you're gonna attack first, maybe they'll F6 then. Sack to Warren. 2 mana. Well, that makes 2 mana and then sack 2 mana. That's not infinite. But I can ping my opponent a bit. I guess I need to block with the frog too now. Two flying counters. Make treasure. Make treasure. Play Kchtonian. More energy. Sacrifice Orcish Bowmasters to make treasure. Return Orcish Bowmasters. Sacrificing Gravecrawler. Does double flying world hack double strike? It works like double strike. More or less. Bro, still not F6ing because maybe they're gonna put a counter on their frog. Any minute now. Any minute now the frog is gonna get a counter. DB canister wins. Let's hecking go. Am I fine not having removal against frog at all? I'm not fine, but you have to be fine with some things you're not fine with sometimes. Sometimes life is not all roses, and in fact it's mostly just dirt and sadness. I'll keep. Yals, you're just correct. If I find Gravecrawler, I can just kill my opponent on turn 3. I hit Gravecrawler, that's lucky. Cause they'll flip 2 Tainted Indulgences. Dun, dun, dun. Grief. No combo. Combo bombo. Opponent took my Warren Soultrader. And then they ephemerated. Now they will take my apprentice. This is less than fair. It is unfair. Holy guacamole. Potsy's back the heck out of my opponent. Let's see if they have an answer. Seems to me like no answer. Unfortunately, villain doesn't seem to be willing to f6 ever. They always have to keep their options open. I'm not sure if they realize that it is 2 life points lost for them for per every life point I lose. Some people don't quite get that. The first time they see the Warren Soultrader combo. Maybe they do get that and they just want to do stuff, but what they should do, right, is they should cast Tainted Indulgence and look for Solitude on Soultrader to survive. So that would imply that they are not fully aware. Kurwa, no po prostu miał Solitude, nawet nie musiał lukać for. I see, I see. Curious. It was just really hard for my opponent to give up that ephemerate, right? So they just really didn't want to. So they took like 5 damage and then they're like, yeah, actually, you know what? Well, let's go then. Need to top deck something else. Be it a Chtonian or another Soultrader. We do have a fetch, which is a Survey land, so that's okay. Villain has an ephemerate, which is going to target either Grief or Falarchi. Villain surveils over an Atraxa, but still no Gorayo, so that's good. Ephemerate Grief kind of have to do that. Or my Troller is going to exile Atraxa. Indulgence is just a draw too, thanks to the Atraxa. That's soul crushing. So now, who is gonna draw their reanimation spell first? Not me, apparently. Mill over Village Rites and Village Rites, which is extremely painful. Those cards would have been good to draw. Priest of Fell Rise for the mill value. Probably not because it's a bad card. Some thing that flashes back would be nice. Priest is pretty bad, I think. If there only existed a flashback variant of Village Rites. Too bad there is no such card. ... Too bad, right? Orcish Bowmeisters. I don't think Orcish Bowmeisters quite do it. I want Stonian, but Urborg will have to do at this point. Solid, dude.
He's a phenomenal control player.
I think it's basically just Stonian right now. I guess it's basically just nothing right now. Missed 1 damage, but that's because I'm not a violent individual. And I will choose not to attack my opponent. Gora's Vengeance, which will literally just kill me. Yeah, not the strongest showing, so I guess next time if I were to play this, I would recommend trying with Grists to have a higher card quality. I think Grist sounds pretty good. Grist plus an Earth, and then you can like assemble the combo a bit harder. It's a cool deck. A little bit low powered though. And very reliant on having Chtonian work uninterrupted, which is not the most reliable thing ever. And for today's content, that's gonna be it. I appreciate everyone who stopped by to watch the stream. I hope you will stay hydrated. And I'll be back next weekend, taking the rest of the week off, so you will have to watch Menguchi or Respect the Cats, Gab Nassif, one of those guys.